This hangout in 2025. I am Benga Oreshegun. Today on the program, we revisit President Tinubu's first media charge since the beginning of his administration. House of Reps Minority Caucus urges unity and collective action to tackle the nation's challenges and foster development in 2025. NUPRC projects 770,500 barrels per day refining capacity as Nasarawa Speaker hails Tinubu for reviving refineries. And later on the show, Nigeria and Niger joint operations against Lakurawa continue amid diplomatic row. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade, Utitoju, and Kaide Ladende. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin with the presidency. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu recently held his first media charge since assuming office. The charge provided Nigerians with insights into the administration's policies, achievements, and plans for the future. The president emphasized the government's focus on reviving the economy, combating insecurity, and fostering national unity. He also addressed concerns over fuel subsidy removal and its impact on citizens, assuring that palliative measures are being rolled out. Analysts believe the media chart reflects the administration's openness to engagement, but also highlighted areas where public expectations remain high. Bikio, Happy New Year once again. Yes, Bikio, you were in the room with the president during the media charge. Now, how will you describe the way the president addressed most of the issues raised?
I think that, yes, we may not have been totally in agreement with the way he answered some of the questions in terms of where we stand and where the president stands. Because as journalists, we are the mirrors of our society. Sure. And as I always say, we speak for our people, we speak for the ordinary people. And no president is too big to be criticized. Okay. No president is too big to be told the truth. Yes, there were some areas in which we will say our expectations were not met, but I think it was refreshing that the president agreed to that media chat because as far back as October last year, I was first contacted about the possibility of a media chat, but it didn't happen at that time. So this time around, the president agreed to do the media chat, and we were allowed to develop our questions. There was not a single no-go area. Everyone can testify that we just spoke from the inner recesses of our hearts, okay. And the president was ready to answer every question. You may not be convinced by his answers, but he spoke like a man who knew what he was doing, convinced that his methods were the best. So, and at a particular time, he said, the hallmark of a leader is the ability to take a decision
and stand
at the right time.
Okay, at the right time.
Yes, yes. There are some decisions that are meant for a particular time. There are some decisions you take that are premature, may not, okay. Yes, but you see, leaders sometimes see what we do not see. And I've given the example of Aimé Jacquet, the coach of France, to the 1998 World Cup. Everyone condemned him because he refused to take David Ginola, and Eric Cantona to the World Cup. But he said, no matter the pressure, I will not take them with me because they will destroy my team, the unity, the cohesion in my team. I will lose the dressing room. So he refused, and he won the World Cup in spite of that. So sometimes leaders see things that we don't see. They have the third eye. So Mr. President stuck to his guns. We believe that the removal of oil subsidy was the best thing. Was the best decision he could take at that time. And he could not be convinced that he should have done it on an incremental basis.
Phase by phase.
Yes. We dismissed the question. He said, whatever, no matter how you try to parcel it, you still have to pay your bills. Nigeria was broke at that time. I used to say it here 1 year ago that Nigeria was broke. We were simply printing money. That's to tell you that we were broke.
Exactly.
So, and if we got to the point that we were now taking loans to pay for subsidy, then something is wrong with us as a country. So it was just decisive. Felt, look, this is the step to take. That was the second question, and the way he answered that question, I said, this man is ready for us. You know? So I think that overall, he did well. He did well. We had a president who abused people from beginning to the end in a presidential chat. Yes. You will even be afraid. There was a foreign journalist who came. The way he abused the journalist, he was even shivering on set. So, but he didn't abuse us. He allowed us to ask questions, and nobody gave us questions. I'm even too big for anybody to give me a question. This is not the first media chat that I will attend. I attend media chat with Wiki. Nobody gave me any question, and I asked him the toughest question on the day. Nobody gave me any question. For the president, nobody told me, Ajide, please behave yourself.
Don't ask this or don't.
No, nobody gave me no go there. If I had time, I was amongst all of us, I probably asked the least number of questions.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yes, but I made sure that I asked the questions that Nigerians would be proud of me about.
Yeah, exactly. I was really proud of you when I heard that.
No, I'm not starstruck. This is a president that I've interviewed 4 times from my days as a tabloid editor, so there was no need to be starstruck. Some were having the opportunity for the first time and he showed, but not me. So nothing to be afraid about. I asked the questions, the most germane issues in our country. I asked questions about them, the size of the cabinet, the tax reform.
Tax reform.
You know, the size of the cabinet tax reform. And you could see that at the end of the day, Nigerians were quite happy. And the issue of price control. I knew the president had dismissed price control at one point. But I asked that question to see if he had changed his mind. Because I've seen where intervention helped.
Okay.
In Yobe, for example, they went after middlemen who were buying crops, produce in bulk, and locking them up.
To cause scarcity.
To cause scarcity, so that prices can go up. They moved after them in Kano too. So for me, there is a need to do something about rampant rise in prices. Okay. And I can see FCCPC doing something like that, going to market, speaking with these women. And these women will sometimes tell us that their unions force them to increase prices arbitrarily. Yeah, that was where I was coming from, and I felt, look, maybe price control. But the president believed that, look, if you saturate the market, the prices will be forced to go down. But there are issues around that. Our neighbors, Niger, Cameroon, Benin, they are buying produce of Nigerian farmers. So the issue of food security is something that we have to address, because unlike before, when our currency was stronger, they were not buying as much as yes. But now the incentive is there for them to buy because our currency is weaker.
All right, BKO, another thing is, I saw a video, BKO, when the president walked up to you and gave you a handshake.
Yes.
What were you telling the president, if you like to share with us?
You know, when he came in,
yes,
he came in through my back.
Okay.
You know, so I was the first person that I greeted as he came into that set. And he said, I watch you every day. I still saw you last night. You're doing a good job. I said, thank you, sir. I bent down. I greeted him. So after the interview,
yes,
you could see that his aide was looking at me where I was standing.
Okay.
And he told the president, He just stretched his hand towards me so that the president can walk up to me and greet me. That was an honor he extended to me.
Big time.
And I felt, okay, Mr. President, please. You said you saw me in a farm. I said, yes. I was doing a documentary, at Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta.
Okay.
I said, Mr. President, you need to help these specialized institutions. We want food prices to go down. We must encourage mechanized farming. And FUNAB has more than 10,000 hectares. We need to cultivate as much of those hectares as we can. You need to support them tremendously. He then said, oh, but I already told you people that I'm bringing in 2,000 tractors.
Yes, he said that.
FUNAB and other schools will get those tractors when
they arrive in the country.
So I was happy that at least I spoke for not just the FUNAB people. They didn't send me to do it. But in saying that, I was also speaking for Nigerians. Because we want agri-production to be stimulated.
True.
And what are those universities doing if we can't get the best out of them? So I told him, and he assured me that I would do something about that. Then I also spoke to him about insecurity. And I said, look, we have improved in many areas. I could mention places where we have improved, but we do not have time. So I said, we need to also work on some other areas. And then as we were saying that, no, Ribadu, the NSA, you work now, and I told him you are doing a fantastic job. And people didn't give you a chance. They felt you were a policeman, you will fail as NSA. But in my view, as somebody who reports security in our country, you are doing a good job. I can see improvement. Today, people drive from Abuja to Kaduna, even at night, as late as 10 p.m. Nobody could hear that.
Before that, the last administration was difficult.
Yes. So, and Mr. President then jokes that, oh, they didn't give him a chance. They didn't give Dan Fulani a chance. That's the way, that's what he calls Nuriba. They calls him Dan Fulani. They didn't give him a chance. So I am happy for the privilege. And I was the one who nominated Dr. Ruben Abati to be the moderator of the debate. The same way I nominated him to moderate the Sanwo-Olu media chat. I nominated him. And in my view, he did well. But I'm sure that when next we do a media chat, the crowd will not, in terms of number of journalists.
Okay, the number of,
people have complained that we are too many. And then the pattern and sequence of questioning will improve. Everyone will know when it is his turn.
Okay.
There's no need for anybody to say it's your turn.
Okay, it's your turn. Okay, yeah, I saw
and if you look at the media chats that I've been involved in, we were there in Enugu, Ale, the former Channels reporter who is working in Enugu now.
Okay.
Former Channels anchor, Akeredolu Ale. He was there. Sheun was there. We also did that of Sanwo-Olu. We did that of Wike. It went smoothly. There was no need for anyone to say it's your turn to talk.
That was unprofessional.
Yes, we didn't.
Yes. In my opinion, it was not.
No, that was an area where we didn't do well.
Yeah, it was unprofessional, I tell you. But maybe in just 30 seconds. So sorry, though. But the media chance.
There's nothing to be sorry. He was in the room.
He was in
the
room.
The interesting part of it was that we produced it, and as we're watching live, we're taking down notes.
Exactly.
In fact, if you watch TVC or our social media pages, some of those words are still in bullet forms because he said a lot of things. And one of those things that I love most is to say that one of the ways to fight corruption is to block all loopholes. He also said, that's when he responded to BKO, that I do not believe in price control. Continuous supplies to market is needed. I think a lot of people can still catch up with some of those things. But in summary, what I felt about it was that this put to rest this insinuation that the president is afraid of the media.
Exactly.
That the president cannot speak to the media. This is from the source. Like we always say, the horse's mouth to say that.
I even told him, one of the things I told him was that, Mr. President, you can do a live interview now. I told him, I said, given the way you perform today, you can actually do a live.
And you can.
Let your next media chat be a live one. I told him, I got the opportunity, and I told him, because we have to put confidence in this president, so that even some of his states will not come and say, no, don't do it at the last minute so that the president will change his mind. No, I think that next time he should be able to do a live interview. I think he's capable of doing that. It may not be perfect, but we don't even need a perfect person to run our country.
Exactly.
Just speak to Nigerians.
Speak your mind,
And I think Nigerians could see where he's going. And the analogy that he gave with the fuel prices actually disarmed a lot of people. Because you can see now that fuel prices are coming down.
Yes.
He didn't have to intervene. He just...
And he didn't give us a clue that Warri Refinery was coming.
No, you see, the thing is,
that was lovely.
Kyari and his people, this was what they did with Port Harcourt. They didn't tell people. They didn't tell, because in the past, at the last minute, they will be sabotaged. So for Port Harcourt, Kyari and some of his people were sleeping there for days, just to make sure that nothing went wrong.
That's good.
So the idea of informing you that we are almost through, by so date we'll be back. They've stopped it so that people won't go and sabotaging their equipment before that day.
That's good.
So that's why I wasn't surprised that Warri too. We just had that 60%.
We look forward to Kaduna. We look
Very
forward
soon.
to that. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation. A New Year message from the minority caucus of the House of Representatives.